not being able to recover your Apple laptop. It's pretty frustrating, obviously. However, there are a few things we could do to restore and to access the files. Let's see what these things, these solutions indeed are. First, we would probably need to reset the system management controller of the computer. That is responsible for the, let's say, display lid, the battery, the keyboard lights, and so on. I here have my laptop, which is a MacBook Pro 2011. It's pretty old. Oh, it's not working right now. A few days ago in the morning when I tried to start it up, it didn't happen. I actually tried several times trying to restart it. I performed a number of operations on it, but then I found the problem is in the hardware and it has nothing to do with the software. Still, before you could get to that point, you would need to do these operations. The system management controller, you could simply check whether it's working properly. You need to reset it. To reset the SMC, you could do a simple thing, disconnecting the battery. If you could have access to that. If you look at my computer, at the back of this computer, there is a cover. Let me show that to you. There are little screws. You could simply disconnect the battery and installing it again. And then when you hit the you need to press number 2 is a reset to the site, and it stores settings that the computer needs at the startup. And if you reset this memory, the key is power button and hold them. You hear the chime, and for the third time the computer is getting restarted. Yes, now release the keys and let the computer starts up. This is a kind of reset, and you're resetting the non-volatile random access memory. So if the problem is because of the memory, you would be okay. So the computer would get restarted. My computer is not going to complete this process because its problem is hardware, not software. Let me turn that off. The third solution, imagine you did the SMC solution and it didn't work. And you did the memory solution, the NVRAM, and it didn't work either. Now it's time to check whether the computer can boot in safe mode. When you try to boot in safe mode, you actually give the signal to the computer that certain operations should not be initiated. Like you have certain applications or certain that appear at the startup, and the safe mode would suppress those applications or those operations. So there would be less load on the computer, basically. I mean, it would be easier for the computer to boot. To do this solution, you would just need to hit the power button. Okay. You hit the power button and shift. The moment you hear the chime, press shift. Well, trust me, I'm telling you, the safe mode is not going to be working on this computer either. So let me shut it down again. Yeah. There's also a safe mode that is called verbose safe mode. And that means when you start that, the computer begins to produce the data that would help identify the problem. To do that, you need to hold down Shift, Command, and V and hit the power button. Shift, Command, and V and hit the power button. Okay, we can see that. Look, this goes down for a little while. You would need to look at the data and may be able to find out about the problem. I will talk about this later because this helps me find out about the problem actually. This verbose safe mode